Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be, are they full bottle worthy? I have here 10 new releases, well, newish, released probably in the last 2 or 3 months, and I'm gonna go in the order that I picked these up, and the last 2 are more first impressions. I did spend a day with each of the last 2, but I'm probably gonna feature them in a this or that video, and then the other ones I've spent 2 or more days with them, and I feel like I have a little bit more of a yes or no, are they full bottle worthy? Now, just because I might say something is full bottle worthy doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be getting a bottle, because my collection is just way too large, hence why I have been picking up more samples and travels anyways. So this is more if I didn't already have something in my collection, because a lot of these are flankers, and at this point a lot of this is redundant. So let's go ahead and get into the video. The first fragrances I'm gonna go over are from Commodity, and this is the Juice collection, and I have here the Personal, the Expressive, and the Bold. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I regret getting the Travels. They actually have a little 2 ml set. They look a little bit bigger than 2 ml. I don't know if it's 2.5 or 3 ml. I ignored some of the reviews that said that it was similar to Angel Nova, and I went ahead and picked up the Travels, and I would have to agree with the people whose nose picks up Angel Nova, because that is what I do get a lot. They're not exact, it's not a dupe, but more specifically, the annoying, obnoxious base of Angel Nova is what I get in Juice. First is the Personal, and to me this one, it reminds me the most of Angel Nova. I believe it's Akigala wood and benzoin that's in Angel Nova, and then in here it's the amber wood, which is in all 3. But I feel like the patchouli and the Bold cuts through it a little bit. Yeah, this is a mouth-watering, tart, juicy fragrance. I believe this one has rhubarb. Yes, they all have raspberry and strawberry at the top. They have Bulgarian rose, and they all have a rhubarb and amberwood in the base, and then there's just some slight differences. I don't know if it's the violet leaf that's giving me kind of a, not an earthiness, but almost when you think of florals, but just the leaf or grass, it's giving me something like that, but just off in the background. And the fruit in here, it does come off more sweet. It's tart and sweet to my nose. In the Expressive, this one's even more tart in my opinion. This one, to me, even though it still has that strawberry and raspberry, I believe this one is supposed to be like raspberry pulp. I think they all have cyclamen. Yeah, they all do. This one might be Angel Nova, the Eau de Toilette more. There is a touch of greenness in this one as well. I actually really wanted this one to work. I love the opening of this one. It's more green, more mouth-watering, more tart, and less fruity. This one has raspberry and strawberry, but I feel like the rhubarb really comes through in this one just a little bit more. I do like that tartness, and I just feel like the strawberry and raspberry are less jammy in this one, even though I believe they describe this one as more like juicy, but to me it's more tart. Like I can feel it in the back where your mouth waters, but again, in the deep dry down, I'm just not crazy about that amberwood. Bold, I didn't spend as much time with this one. I wore this one 2 times, one time being down my arm to compare it to the Expressive. The Bold one is a little bit better in the base, but it's not my favorite opening. It's not bad. I do want to spend a little more time. I wouldn't get a large bottle of any of these, but I don't remember being as annoyed with the deep dry down, and I think because this one has patchouli. Now, patchouli is a note that lately has been bothering me, but it's more when it's a patchouli bomb. Whereas in here, to me, the patchouli doesn't come off earthy. It just balances the notes out. This one also has vetiver, so that could be it as well, because vetiver adds a little bit more of a woodiness and not as much of a like a resinous base. The deep dry down of this one I can tolerate a little bit more, but I'm not a fan of the opening. So I almost wonder if I were to just spray this one and then maybe spray the expressive on top if I would like that combination. I haven't tried that yet. I feel like that might be a nice fall fragrance. I'm gonna try it out. I do want to do a layering video and I'll let you guys know how that combo works out, but none of these are full bottle worthy to me just because I'm not crazy about this scent profile. So I wasn't a fan of the commodity juice. I liked parts of it, but as a whole they're not my kind of fragrance. All right, next we have Cirque De Soleil L'Eau de Parfum, and a lovely subscriber of mine, Victoria, sent me a sample, which I'm very appreciative. I did get a 2 ml, so I was able to get one wear, and then I was able to wear it 2 times down one arm, and then the duo version, the Circus of the Sun Parfum. Now I'm going to talk about these in a future fall video, but I would say that if you are a gourmand lover and you were let down by this scent because it wasn't as gourmand, I would say check out Circus of the Sun, because this is a close version of it, but it's stronger, it's a little bit louder. I also get the notes in this one a little bit more, whereas in Cirque Du Soleil L'Eau de Parfum, everything in here is blended. I actually prefer this one, but because of the price tag, I wouldn't pick it up, but I do think this is a beautiful scent. If this was my kind of scent profile, I would put the money towards it, but because gourmands are something I like during a very short period of time, that's not usually where I spend my money on, but this one is superior. It's beautiful. It's not obnoxious or loud or overly gourmand. So if you're a gourmand lover or not, this is one you're going to want to test, because I could see gourmand lovers either loving or being disappointed depending on how gourmand they want it, and then I can see people who don't love gourmand enjoying this because this is so well blended that it just has this kind of, I don't want to say gourmand touch because it is a gourmand scent, but it's not loud. This one is loud. When both of these open up, you get this kind of butteriness, salty popcorn, but not like movie theater. There's a difference. But then this one has something soft and powdery that's kind of cutting through that butteriness, making it not lean in an overly fruity territory. When it opens up, you do get that. But then a powderiness, which is coming from, I believe, the iris petals and the freesia, just something kind of soft and not too floral, but just kind of breaking it up a little bit. And I don't get that in this one. I do start picking up on a cotton candy, but it's very soft. It's just more of a kind of sugary sweetness. And I don't get that in this one. I also don't get the apple that they list in either. I do get the vanilla as it dries down. I get a slight caramel in this scent, both of them, but in here it's blended. In this one, it's more of a buttery, kind of powdery vanilla scent with a little bit of caramel, and in here I can almost pick up the notes. So you might like that. I like how blended this one is. I don't like that I don't get the apple in either of them. I did pick up another Dua. It was their own creation. It was caramel apple on a stick or something. I'm gonna go over that one. I did layer those two, and then I layered Kayali's Eat and Juicy Apple with Cirque Du Soleil, and it was gorgeous, beautiful. It's what I wanted. But again, this is such a high price tag, but I do think it's nice. I do think adding Kayali Eat and Juicy Apple just made me love this one a little bit more. I think it's worth seeking out a sample and trying. It is a unique fragrance to me, but I'm not a gourmand lover. So if you are, you might have something like this, but for someone who doesn't have too many gourmands, this was a unique fragrance to me. Because even though I've had fragrances with like a buttery popcorn note, it is different in this one. It's more buttery with like a pinch of salty popcorn. Very pretty, very different. I'll report back on this one. Unfortunately, my sample's almost gone on this one, but again, that is Cirque Du Soleil's L'Eau de Parfum. Next we have Vanilla Bourbon by Ness. This was actually really nice, but I feel like I have this in my collection. This does remind me more so when I first got Vanilla 28 by Kayali, the little one. Now people have said that they change, but I wonder if it's just like how long it's been sitting. because my larger bottles that I got were definitely, the fragrance was already out for some time. So they already came like that inky color. They were darker. Whereas when I first got the Kayali like bundle of 4, it was very pale. And that one I remember when I first tried it, it was more musky and kind of a, yeah, clean vanilla. So think of just getting out of the shower and having your clean skin and then putting on a very simple vanilla. That is what this smells like, and I feel like that's what Kayali Vanilla 28 smelled like when I first got it. So I feel like this scent is going to change. I feel like it's gonna smell a lot like that one. So I don't need 2 of those fragrances, but even though this doesn't say that it's clean at Sephora, and not that I only get clean, I'm just shifting to clean because I do have thyroid issues. But I don't think this ticks all the boxes that make it clean, but I do believe that this one is minus the phthalates and parabens, but I would have to double check. This one does have musk and it does have jasmine, I believe it is, night blooming jasmine, so that it just has something clean about it. But I feel like it gets a little more unisex in the deep dry down, so I would have to play with this some more, but as of now, I feel like I have a kind of basic vanilla. And again, that's Vanilla Bourbon by Nest. All right, next we have Alien Hypersense. This is a more likable Alien, but I love Alien because of its kind of edginess. Also, I wore this and Dennis didn't. I wore this several times and Dennis never picked up on it. And usually Dennis picks up on every Alien and flanker I've tried, and he didn't on this one. This to me is still that kind of clean soapy Alien, but it's more rounded. It doesn't have those kind of sharp edges that the original, and I shouldn't say the original because some people find the OG formula to be more indolic, more ambery. I did get a sample and it was more ambery, but I wonder if the longer it sits, the stronger the amber gets. But even in the old formula that someone had sent me, even in that one, I never found the jasmine to be kind of indolic. I've always found it to be a soapy, clean jasmine. There's an earthiness to all of the Aliens. Like I smell like a soft earthiness. There is something. But this one has pear and green mandarin. I thought it was going to be fruity, but I don't pick up the pear and green mandarin as fruity. It comes off more sweet to me. And then the cashmeran that's in here, to me, is kind of what's rounding the scent out. It must be the driftwood that's in here that's coming off earthy. There's also amberwood, but I don't really get it in this scent. And I don't know if it's just amberwood with fruity notes that bothers me, because it doesn't bother me in this scent. This one's clean from the musk and also from the jasmine that's in here. To me, this is Alien, a just more rounded, wearable version. It's not as loud, or I don't want to say obnoxious because I don't find Alien to be obnoxious. It's actually a scent that is very complimented in my collection. Every time I wear Alien and go out, I always get at least one compliment. I get more, but it's usually at least one. Someone always smells it in the air. It leaves a nice scent trail. This one's softer. It is kind of cozy and warm. This is a nice transitioning fragrance. It's actually a nice year-round fragrance. It's not bad. I'm gonna have no problem finishing up the bottle, but I own the original Alien and I do like the difference, the edginess on that one. It's one that I wear to go out, but this is a nice everyday one. And I could see someone complimenting me if they gave me a hug. So this is Alien Hypersense. Next, we have the 7 Virtues Candied Lychee. I'd be interested to know if this has additional notes, because I get almost like a candied violet or like a sweet iris note that's in here in the deep dry down, not in the opening. No, in the opening, I got the lychee right away, and I got something a little bubblegummy. The main notes that they show were lychee, peony, and vanilla, and I got, again, something kind of bubblegummy, and I also got something rosy. So then I went to Sephora, and I see that they list geranium, which can sometimes have like a rosy accord to it, and then I also saw that they had jelly bean. So that's probably the bubblegummy that I'm getting. This one's playful. It's It's playful, but the lychee also adds, I don't want to say a sophistication, but it just makes the fruitiness a little bit more grown up. But yet there's a playful side to this scent. And I think that's the jelly bean that's in here. It's very pretty. For me, it's actually the deep dry down where I get kind of, again, almost like iris or like a candied violet. I don't know. I've smelled it in other fragrances and I get it the next day. I wore this one a couple times and this one has really great longevity. It becomes a totally different scent the next day. So this is one that maybe I could see myself getting. I would have to play with it a little bit more. But again, that is the 7 Virtues Candied Lychee. This one I'm on the fence about because I really love the opening. I find it to be a different take on lychee. All right, next we have Ellis Brooklyn Deer Sky. This is one that I would probably get down the road when I'm almost out of other fragrances that remind me of this one. This is a very pretty, inoffensive, musky, floral fragrance. When I smelled it, it reminded me of something and I couldn't put my finger on it. This is the second time I filmed it and I said think of Daisy Wild by Marc Jacobs. And then when I went on Fragrantica, it's the third comparison. This does remind me of Daisy Wild, minus the, I think it's banana. Is it banana blossom or banana? There's a banana note in that one. This one's really pretty. It's green, it's fresh, it's musky, it's tart. This has notes of rhubarb, melon, strawberry leaf, peony, but it isn't anything special. This is a very pretty girl fragrance. I think what makes this fragrance special is the bottle. The bottle is absolutely gorgeous. Daisy Wild, what makes that one a little bit more special is that banana note that I really enjoy, whereas this one, it's stripped away. But I do like that this one's clean and again, doesn't have phthalates or parabens. So I think if I got through a good chunk of my Daisy Wild, instead of picking up another bottle, I would probably pick up Deer Sky on sale. I wouldn't pay full price for this one. This is one I would pick up down the road. It's full bottle worthy, but not because it's anything special, but because it's an easy grab. And I enjoy easy grabs in my collection. I just have to be able to find them heavily discounted. I'm glad I got the travel, not anything that I'll be getting right away. You know, like their Miami Nectar, I got that one right away for summer. This one may be in spring. So again, that's Ellis Brooklyn's Deer Sky. The last two that I'm going to talk about are more first impressions. Next, we have Prada Paradoxe Virtual Flower. I didn't get the large bottle because people kept saying that this had a laundry detergent scent, which I don't mind that, but on my skin, it smells more like a very sharp, clean soap. And then the Prada Paradoxe DNA. But this is one I think I would enjoy. In summer, I'm going to play with it a little bit more. I also want to let it sit because I feel like it's going to get sweeter with time. And my Prada Paradoxe, the Intense and the original, have gotten sweeter. So I feel like this one is going to be the cleaner, more soapy version. For me, it's more soapy than laundry detergent on my skin. But smelling it on the box, the neroli is coming off just a little bit more screechy, which neroli sometimes does to my nose. So I can see why some people say that it smells like straight up laundry detergent. There's also, I think there's jasmine in this one. Yeah, there's jasmine, there's musk and ambrette. I do find this one to be pretty. So this one I'm on the fence with, but I would consider getting a larger bottle. And last we have Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion Eau de Parfum Intense. Now I'm gonna be talking about this one in a this or that video along with Burberry Goddess, the Intense, but it hasn't arrived yet. First impressions, this smells just like the original, just not as lemon, not as candied lemon. This one smells like the original, but more on a nutty side. And surprisingly, I like this one, but I wouldn't get a larger bottle because it's not my kind of scent. I do like it, but I feel like the travel is just enough for fall. And even though they don't list lemon in this one, there is something citrusy in the opening that I get more on the box than I do on my skin. This one has hazelnut, orange blossom, and vanilla. Maybe it's the orange blossom that's giving me kind of a citrus. This to me smells a lot like the original. It even gives me that slight sunscreen, even though I don't think this is supposed to be, but for whatever reason on my skin, there's something slightly suntanny. It's in the original, it's in this one. I don't know what it is. I wouldn't say this is the more intense and that it's like louder. It's just a little more deeper in my opinion. Like, I don't know if it's the lemon that makes that one just a little brighter. This one has more of a deeper vibe to me with that hazelnut. Do you need both? I would say if you really like this scent profile, I could see someone owning both, because one leans a little bit more on a candied lemon and this one more on a nutty side. But if you're not into flankers, this is very similar. So if you don't have this one and can get your nose on both of them so that you could pick one, because they are very similar, especially in the dry down, because it's that opening where you get that difference. So yeah, guys, those are 10 newish fragrances and which ones I think are full bottle worthy. None of these were like super special to me. The only two that I could see myself possibly getting a larger bottle is Prada Paradoxe, Virtual Flower, and Dear Sky. Again, I really love Prada Paradoxe. It's quickly become one of my top complimented fragrances. Every time I wear it, someone always compliments me. And I like that this is kind of a cleaner take on it. I would just want to play with it a little bit more because I just got it. And then Dear Sky, I do think this is a very pretty scent. It's just nothing special. I have it, but it's an easy grab. So at the same time, even though it's nothing special, I can see myself grabbing this one a lot, kind of like my Versace Bright Crystal. It's just an easy grab in my collection and it's inoffensive. So I could see myself grabbing this one on sale. And then Candied Lychee is one that I'm on the fence with. I want to play with it a little bit more. Other than that, I'm happy to have travels. There are a couple that I wish I didn't get the travels of, like the commodity fragrances. But let me know in the comments below, do you guys have any of these? Are any of these fragrances on your wish list? But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.